hearty welcome to Sri Satya Sai Lok Seva Gurukulam. Free online classes in mathematics, a very interesting branch of mathematics. What is that? Algebra. Algebra is already you have studied something in algebra about algebraic expressions. Shall study some more details. Okay, before that we will see what we already studied. So in algebra we study about constants and variables. Suppose you have 2x. What is that 2x called? It's called as term, algebraic terms. Here 2 is called constant and x is called variable. Variable means the value is not known. Constant means value is fixed. 2 is here also 2. Any country if you go it is same. That is how the study of algebra starts. Also we have studied about coefficients. Suppose you have 2ab. What do you mean coefficient? For that ab, number 2 is multiplied. Is it not? So that 2 is called as numerical coefficient. This 2 is called numerical, means there is a number. Numerical coefficient is 2. And for B, 2a is the coefficient. For A, 2b is the coefficient. That is algebraic coefficients. So I think you understood. Suppose you have 3x. Here variable is x. 3 is called coefficient. This 3 is called numerical coefficient. Correct? And suppose you have AB. The coefficient of B is A or coefficient of A is B. So by what do you mean by coefficient? The term or the number to which the given term is multiplied is called as coefficient. Is it not? So co means together. So here 3 is multiplied to x. So 3 is together with x. Here A is multiplied with B. B is multiplied with A. Therefore they are called as coefficients. And if there is number is there, for example if we have half BH, here half is called numerical coefficient of BH. What is the coefficient of B? Coefficient of B is half H. What is the coefficient of H? Half B. Correct? So this is a thing we already studied in the previous class. And also there is a very interesting thing called as terms in algebra. What will be terms? Terms will be unknown like A, B, C, X, Y, Z, etc., etc. These are called terms in algebra. Or it may be like this also, half of AB, 1/3 BH, etc., etc. They are also terms. Even though they are multiplied by some numbers or numerical thing, they are also called term. And in that term there are two types. One is called like term and this is called unlike terms. What do you mean like term? Like term means those who have same coefficient. So these are called like terms. Because this A is multiplied by some number. So this A is common in all of them. They are called like terms. Similarly, if you take x half x, 1 by 3x, and then 10x, 100x, anything like that. So here all of them x is common. Therefore, we call it as like terms. Why we want like terms? To add or subtract the terms, we want like terms. Okay. Then what about unlike terms? So these are all called unlike terms. They have no relation to each other. They are all unlike. Is it not? You cannot add these terms or subtract also. Suppose you want to add it, then write it as a plus b plus c plus x plus y plus z. Like that it continues. Correct? Because they are unlike terms. I think you understood the word unlike. Correct? And also you have studied about kinds of expressions. Now what is expression? Algebraic expression means two or more terms, or you can say one also, terms, no not one, two or more terms which are connected to each other with operations. For example, there are four kinds here. One is called monomial. So for example, 2xy is a monomial, 3ab is a monomial, etc., which contain only one term. And in binomial, we have say x plus y, there will be operation a minus b, etc., two terms with an operation, that we call it as binomials. If there are three terms, what do you call it? We call it as trinomial, L plus m plus n, or 2x plus 3y plus 4z, like that. So that is plus or minus in between. And if there are three terms, we call it as trinomial. If there are more than three terms, we call it as polynomial. For example, a plus b minus c minus d, four terms. It is called polynomial. Okay, or you can say 2x minus 3y plus 4z plus 5a. You know, it is called polynomial. There are four terms. Okay, so these are all things we have studied in the previous class. Now in today's class, we will study some more details about it, and also sum and difference of algebraic expressions. That also you have studied. For example, if you have 2a to be added to 3a, the sum will be how much? How to do it? Add the coefficients 2 plus 3, that is 5a. And difference means what? Suppose you have to subtract say 4b from 7b. So 7b minus 4b becomes 3b. What you have done? You have subtracted the coefficient, numerical coefficient. So 7 minus 4 becomes 3, and the term is b only. That is how you did it already in the previous class. We will see some more interesting things about it in today's class. Okay. So terms, factors and coefficients. Take the expression 4x plus 5. What kind of expression it is? It is binomial. Why binomial? There are two terms. What are the two terms? One is 4x, another is 5. So this 4x plus 5 is an expression. These are called terms. And in this, what is the coefficient of x? That is 4. Correct? And terms are added to form expression. It can be added and it can be subtracted also. The term 4x is a product of its factors 4 and x. So 4x can be got by multiplying 4 and x. The term is 5 is made up of just one factor 5. 5 ones are 5. Correct? So here 4 is called the numerical coefficient of 4x. So the 4x, the 4 is called numerical. What do you mean numerical? Means number. So that is what you see there. Now we will see some more thing about this. Classification of algebraic expressions. Just one step forward, what you have studied earlier. Expression that contain only one term is called monomial. Note down if you don't know. Expression that contain two terms is called binomial. Bi means what? Two. An expression containing the three terms is called trinomial. Tri means TRI, not TRY. Trinomial means three terms. So this is three terms. Binomial is one term. Sorry, binomial is two term. And monomial is one term. What about 4 and more? If there are 4 and more terms, we call it as polynomial. An expression containing one or more terms with the non-zero coefficient, with variables having non-negative integers as exponents. So, one or more terms, for example, you have 2a plus 3b plus 4c minus 5d, like that. It's called polynomial because it should be non-zero coefficient. Here it is not, it's all non-zero. 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. are called non-zero. Suppose you have zero coefficient, what happens? The term becomes 0, correct? Suppose you write 0a. 0a means what? It is 0 only, no meaning. So it should be non-zero coefficient. The coefficient must be non-zero with variables having non-negative integers. See here, suppose you write x squared plus y squared. It's also called polynomial because this degree or power is 2 here. It should be non-negative integers as exponents. Okay, then it is called polynomial. Come on, what are the names? Monomial, binomial, trinomial, polynomial. They are the 4 kinds of expressions. Okay, shall we work out some problems on this? Some examples we will see. Classify the following polynomials, monomials, binomials and trinomials. So here are some expressions given. Note down. Noted? Okay, now you have to write it in the boxes. 4y minus 7z. How many terms are there? 2 terms are there. Therefore, shall we write it here or here? Should be on a binomial side. 4y minus 7z. So 7z this is. What about y square? Y square is only one term. So it will come under monomial, correct? X plus y minus xy. X plus y minus xy. How many terms? 1, 2, 3. It comes under trinomial. What is that x and y called? Terms. Correct? And coming to next question. AB minus A minus B. That is also trinomial because there are 3 terms. 5 minus 3t It comes under binomials. 7m, monomial. A squared plus b square, binomial. 1 plus x squared, trinomial. Of course, you have studied it earlier also, just a revision. I think all of you understood, right? So, understand the basics correctly. So, to make you thorough in these basics, this problem is taken. Like that, you can go on choosing terms and put it in the proper boxes. Noted down? Okay. Next question, next term, like terms and unlike terms. When terms have the same algebraic factor, they are called like terms. When terms have different algebraic factor, they are called unlike terms. So, come on, here is an expression. What kind of expression it is? Polynomial, because there are 4 terms. Can you see terms which have got the same algebraic factors? Yes, 2xy and 5xy. They have got same. So, when the terms have the same algebraic factors, they are called like terms. What about others one? Others, there is no same factor. Therefore, they are called as unlike terms, 3x and 4. So 2xy and minus 3x, they are called unlike terms. Similarly, 3x and 5xy, they are called unlike terms. And 5xy and minus 4, they are called unlike terms. So there are only two like terms. So in brief, what do you mean by like terms? When terms have the same algebraic factors. Can you give one more example? Yes, come on. 2x, 4x, 5x, half x, correct? 10x, etc., etc. They have got same algebraic factors called x. Is it not? Which can be added also. You can add this, or they can be subtracted also. Correct? Therefore, we call it as like terms. Coming to unlike terms, 2a, 3b, 4c, 5d, etc., etc. They are called unlike terms because there is no, all the terms are different. And suppose you want to add, what you must do? You must write it as it is with the sign of operation, maybe plus or minus. So 2a, 3b, 4c, etc., 5d, etc. are called unlike terms. They cannot be subtracted or added. Okay? So this is a thing you already studied, just for your memory's sake we gave this. Now group the like terms together from the following. Here you are given some terms here. So groups you have to make. First group, you call it as A. Come on, anybody? Okay, 12x. Any x is here? Yeah, 12x is here, and minus 25x is here. One more x is here. That's all. That is the first group. They have the same algebraic term, namely x. And don't worry about this plus, minus, etc. And also the numerical coefficient. Sometimes it may be there, may not be there. Here there is 1. If you say x means 1x. Coming to second group. Any other? Yes, you have got minus 25y, then you have 12y, then you have y, the second category, minus 25y, 12y and y, the second category. The remaining are unlike terms, 12, 1, etc. Correct? So that is also one group of unlike terms, or you can say numbers, 12, 1, etc. So that is how the groups can be made. Understood? Simple, na? Suppose you have marbles of different colors. What do you do? Green color marbles in one box, red color marbles in another box, yellow color marbles in another box. Or most interesting is Rubik cube. You have seen Rubik cube? There will be different colors and you rotate it. And you rotate it such that all colors comes in the same face. Correct? Then it will be nice. That is how they solving the problem. So here also that type of problem is given. Write two terms which are like. Come on. Which are two terms which are like 7ab. You can write 5ab or half ab, etc., etc. And two terms which are like this, 4xy squared, you can write 8xy squared. Yes, come on, 10xy squared, 100xy squared, like that. 2l, you can take a half l, 100l, etc., etc. They asked two terms each. Okay, that is the next question. Noted on? Okay, and next question will be identify the terms, their coefficient for each of the following expressions. So these are the terms here. So coefficients. So here terms and coefficient, we will have two columns. They are asked to find out the terms. One column, another one is coefficient. So what are the terms here? X and 3. What is the coefficient of x? Coefficient of x is 1. And coefficient of 3 is 1 again. 3 ones are 3. X ones are x. So what are the terms here? 1 a square. What is the coefficient of a? So coefficient of a and a square are same. A also 1, a squared also 1. The number 1 is multiplied to both of them. Can you write 0? No, you cannot. If you write 0 means the whole thing will go off. Here what are the terms? Terms are 5xy square, 7x squared y. Correct? So here coefficient of xy squared is 5. It is called numerical coefficient. Similarly, coefficient of x squared y is 7. What is the coefficient of x? 5y square. What is the coefficient of y squared? 5x. What is the coefficient of x squared? 7y. What is the coefficient of y? 7x squared. I think you understood the meaning of the word coefficient. number of the term to which the given term is multiplied. Here xy squared is multiplied by 5, that is why you wrote it as 5. X squared y is multiplied by 7, that is why you wrote it like that. Coming to this next question, the terms are m by 2, n by 2 minus mn, they are the terms. There are 3 terms here. Now what is the coefficient of m? Coefficient of m, come on, half, correct? By 2 means what? Half. M is multiplied by half, and coefficient of n also is half. Both are equal to half. And coefficient of mn, mn is equal to minus 1. That means mn is multiplied by minus 1, it becomes minus mn. And coefficient of m is minus n. Coefficient of n minus m. Correct? That is how you write coefficients. So it is a term or a number to which the term is multiplied. Understood? And if the multiplied is a number, we call it as numerical coefficient. If it is a term, you call it as coefficient. Okay? Noted down? Okay. Now we will pass on to home assignment. Get the algebraic expression in the following. So you must write the expression now. Subtraction of z from y, 1/2 of the sum of numbers x and y. You can say terms, you can write, it's not numbers actually, terms. Numbers x and y both squared and added. Product of numbers y and z subtracted from 10. For all these you have to write algebraic expressions. Okay, one more question. Identify the term, their coefficient for each of the following. So you must following expressions. So you must tell coefficient also, and you must tell the terms also for all these 4 questions. Okay. And lastly, classify the following into monomials, binomials, trinomials. Which polynomials do not fit into any of these 3 categories? So, for example, 1000 is there, it does not belong to. So, you can think and answer which do not belong to the group of monomials, binomials and trinomials. We will try for that. Now, let us see what Bhagavan Baba says. Bhagavan Baba Uvacha. The best prayer is to pray for the welfare of the entire humanity, which will include you, your family and dear ones. So here, dear ones means it may be plants, birds, animals, all those. Okay? And hence the prayer will be Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu. So if you pray for the welfare of the humanity, which includes us also. Okay, we'll do that. Come prepared for the home assignment. Thank you.